This is my revisiting review of Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. So I read this book at the time of recording about 3 weeks ago, and this, I would say, is my implementation review, where I want to look at, since I read the book, has it made a difference? Has there been anything that I have been able to implement and get use of out of the book? And so far, so there's been one situation where I was very specifically able to apply a strategy from the book in a negotiation or in a negotiation-like situation. And the strategy was to ask the question, how am I supposed to do that? So essentially, and I really like this strategy. Even when I was reading it, I thought, I really want to try this, and I'm glad I got an opportunity to try this. Because basically, when someone makes some kind of demand that you can't or don't want to comply with, let's say the natural instinct is to become adversarial and say, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm putting my foot down, or are you crazy? How can you ask something like this of me, or something like that, right? But the suggested strategy is to say, how am I supposed to do that? And this makes it clear that essentially you're saying, I can't do that, but also you're getting your counterpart on your side. You're getting them to think from your perspective, and you're getting them to think, oh yeah, this is a difficult situation. How is he supposed to do that, right? And this is basically what I applied in a situation. I like this. I simply ask this question, and I use this frame. And so I think it's not so much just about asking this specific question. It's about using this specific frame. How am I supposed to do that, or help me understand how I'm supposed to follow what you want of me. And I think it helped in reaching a better outcome. Of course, it's difficult to know, because I can't know what the outcome would have been had I used a different strategy, but I think it was pretty good. And then right now, as I'm recording this, also I'm in a situation where I'm negotiating about a price, and there's also a specific strategy, in fact, a very, very specific strategy in the book that I'm applying to this negotiation right now. So as a review, as a conclusion for this book, I can say two things. First of all, it's definitely implementable, right? Because I have been able to use what I read about. And it's also, I can say, I didn't have to make a big effort. I didn't have to go back and run to the book and go, oh my God, I can't remember this part. What are the details here? Just after reading it and writing a few notes in summary of it, these ideas have been available to me right away. So I'm not saying, obviously it hasn't turned me into a super negotiator, but I'm actually got impressed that after just, as I said, after reading it just once and without any further practice, I have been able to just access these ideas, these concepts from the book, and make them work for me. So that's really cool. And I hope that I can continue practicing and implementing what I read in this book. That's Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss.